Shorty, and a beautiful day out here today, man. What's up, dummy? Man, hey, Drew. Niggas ain't got curfew. They playing in the Charm City tournament. Excuse me, sweetheart. You ain't married or nothing, is you? My baby mama, she stay out Dundalk. So, fuck that Studio 54 shit, that blew over, right? But that wasn't the last time I had fucked Rick up. When I came home last night. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
What are you doing?
I'm doing my show.
Man, welcome to the Off the Record podcast. We have a special guest in the building with us today, Lou Young. Welcome to the show, Lou, man. How is it going?
Good. Blessed to be here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for having me. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to get it going.
No doubt, man. So Lou, let's just start from the beginning, man. You're from DC, right?
Yeah. I grew up Northeast DC. So like I would go from like DC to Silver Spring. My dad, he stayed in Silver Spring. So I'd spend like, I guess, half my time, my mom in DC, then I would go all the way to Silver Spring. But my brother and my sister and their mom, they lived in Baltimore. So on weekends I would go to Baltimore, and that's how I guess I developed that love for the accent out there.
Well, you certainly have a love for the accent, man. Tell us a little bit about what your upbringing was like in the district in Silver Spring and going back and forth, man, between the district and Baltimore. I mean, two very different places.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like, my school, everything that was in DC, you know what I'm saying? So I would wake up in DC, go to school in DC, then my grandfather, he would come pick me up from my school, and then we would drive to Silver Spring, chill with my dad for a little bit. But all my sports was in PG County for like basketball and stuff like that. But football, I would play at White Oak, and that was near him. That was in Silver Spring. And then we had Pop Warner football games. We had games in Baltimore and stuff like that. So that would be in the weekend. So we would be going all over the place. But AAU tournaments would be in Baltimore, DC, PG. And then sometimes, like I said, weekends, I would just spend time with my brother and my sister's fam out there. So our family it's like weird, but we you know what I'm saying, it's like one big family.
What was it like going down to Georgia, man, down to Georgia Tech? What was that experience like?
It was I mean, it was different, like being in DC, like, you know what I'm saying, that's city life and everything like that. But Atlanta, it's a little southern, it's a little country. But, at Georgia Tech, I was like right in the city. You know what I mean? It's not like your average college campus. It's like Georgia Tech and then nightclubs and whatever you want to get into right around the corner. So I wasn't trying to go to the frat parties. I was trying to go to the club.
You said fucking frat parties.
For real.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lou, were you always kind of known as like a funny guy, like coming up through high school and college and stuff like that?
Like elementary school, I used to, you do little awards, you know what I'm saying? Like class clown, whatever like that. So I would always get it, but I never really told my mom or my dad and nothing like that because I didn't want them to think I was just tripping out in school. So, but my 5th grade graduation, we had to do like this school song or some shit. Like, I'm like, so we just in there, all, parents and everything. And in the song, there was like a little line of verse about me cracking jokes and having ESPN magazine in my textbook and not, you know what I mean, getting caught and stuff like that. So that's when they figured out that I was goofing off in class. So I would say elementary school. Like now, people I grew up with, they see my videos and stuff, and they like not surprised at all because I was doing that stuff way back then. So they just be like, they'll just hit me and be like it don't surprise them at all. So that's the funny part.
So Lou, I got a question. So when did you know, you personally, when did you knew that you had a niche for comedy? You know, when was it, I guess, when did it kind of spark in your mind when you knew like, hey, I could maybe take this somewhere and I can go pretty far with this?
I was like 7 years old, like 7 to 8. I was in my one of my best friend's basement. Like you spend the night, you know, we getting ready for games and stuff. So the whole team would come over. His dad was the coach, so you know, in order for everybody to be there on time, he would like have at least 8 of us stay over there, and we all in the basement. So I would be like impersonating him, the coach. I would impersonate people from like Saturday Night Live. Anybody. I would put on like a show for like my teammates at like 8 years old. So I always said to them, I was like, I'm gonna play pro football and I'm gonna be a comedian, actor. So I was just like, y'all just gonna see me on the screen when I'm doing it. Y'all gonna know this. So I said that then. And I always would, my mom, me and her would stay up like almost every Saturday night. If I didn't have like a game or something, majority of the time I did have a game, so she didn't care. Like we would stay up late at night watching Saturday Night Live. And then so I would watch all type of comedies. And my dad had a nice I guess a comedy collection with different little VHS, and I snuck around and found it, and I was looking at those, and I was like 8. I probably wasn't supposed to be listening to it, but yeah, so I just fell in love with it then at an early age.
True. Much respect.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like? Oh, go ahead,
Alex. No, I was gonna say, yesterday we had a great interview also with Quan's brother, who's also a comedian, and he mentioned that, you know, nowadays with like social media and stuff, like anybody who really puts their mind to it can really get into comedy and make a living off of it. Is that something that you agree with, and you know, is that like advice that you would like give to anybody else who's up and coming?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because like even like I would say when social media started to pop off, I was probably like a sophomore in college. So that's when I really got like, you know, Instagram started popping and everything like that. I didn't even have a Twitter. Shit, I didn't have a Twitter until like last year. So I had one in college and I deleted it. And I had the Instagram. I kept the Instagram, and I wasn't really on Facebook like that. So like I think they had the Vine. I had a Vine, but I didn't even understand the Vine. I was trying to get with it, but I was like, whatever. But a couple times I would like do little impersonations on my Instagram, but I would delete it. But you know, you can't really like, you know, in college they like watch what you post and you gotta police it and everything like that. So I might post it a little bit, but then I would delete it. But all my friends were just like, man, just leave it up. And then I was training for the draft, and then my homeboy, he was like, man, you just need to have a camera following you or something. Like you gotta capitalize on this talent. And he's like, you can make money. He's like social media, and then I started seeing like those like DC Young Fly and well, really him. I like, you know, just using it and growing. So I was just like, but I didn't really understand. I was like, damn, I just need to find my own little avenue, my own little niche, how I can kind of have my own little flavor. So
Right.
I just once I started doing that last year, I was just like, eventually I was like, once one of these hit, then I can then I can start to like figure ways to monetize and have my own little. So now I got like a nice system. But I would say like you just got. I guess it's just trial and error. Like don't be afraid to like do one thing. If it don't work, you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to like, okay, I messed up there. Okay, cool. Let me try this other little, you know what I mean? Like it's just trial and error if you really want to do it. And if you really want to do it, you gotta, have a little tough skin too, because they might not fuck with the first one, or you know what I mean? They don't. You never know.
Right.
I mean, what was it like for you when you decided to go into football, man? Professionally, at least. I mean, what was that experience like going into the league?
That experience was like, obviously it's a childhood dream. So like, being able to play and be around guys and that I've looked up to, practice, learn from, play against, play with, that was cool. But like the league, like everything that comes with it, that shit was like stressful. Like, cause like I remember I had my college coach. His name is Al Groh, and he coached in the league for like. That's why I went to Georgia Tech, because I was like, well, shit, I want to go with him because he done been to the league, so I want to learn from somebody who's been in the league. And he would always talk to me about like when I would get injured in college. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they would wait on me. You know what I mean? But like if you get injured in the league, he always be like, you can't make the club in the tub, shit like that. He would say little shit, and I'd be like, all right. He was just like, he just one of them old dudes. But that shit makes sense because, like, my rookie year, I'm like balling. You get hurt, and they'll check on you a couple of days, and then it's like, all right, this nigga, you know what I'm saying? He's in the back.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like that. Like I don't know. It's tough. Like that was tough. Like it's just like you go to the back. And then me being an undrafted guy, I was like, I knew that I was against a lot of odds. You know what I'm saying? So being in that, environment, I mean, at the end of the day, I think for me, it built a lot of tough skin. I'm appreciative of the opportunity because I've seen a lot of guys come and go quick. You know what I mean? Even guys who was drafted in the same year that I was undrafted, they was out of the league before I was done. You know what I'm saying? And so it's tricky, man. Like I've seen like the craziest stories you can imagine. Probably crazy. Like you could put it like this: you could wake up, right? It's a game week. The game is on Sunday, right? You could Friday is like the last like real practice. So Friday is like the fast practice. So by Friday, you're supposed to have everything right. Saturday is like a little walkthrough, a little meeting, do your thing, eat, go to sleep, see with your family, play on Sunday. I've seen dudes get cut like on Saturday in walkthrough. You know what I'm saying? Like you think you're about to play and all this, you got tickets.
Damn.
It's crazy.
So question.
Wow.
Do you, when you was in the league and you was making that transition, did you have any type of leaders over you that assisted with, just trying to get you to where you wanted to be as a player? Like you said you was balling, you was doing your thing. But did you lean to any guidance or any players that, that would take the time out to give you a helping hand or whatever it is that you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, I mean, then the funny part is like a lot of those guys, majority of those guys that I looked or leaned on for like guidance from, from their knowledge and stuff, that I talked to them I can call them right now. And they like, I can go down the list, like in Denver, like Chris Harris, TJ Ward, Kayvon Webster, them like Talib, like those dudes, like they were vets, you know what I'm saying? And I can hit them, or and it's crazy, like I can hit them up, they support me. Then when I went to Carolina, And I was there for a number of years, like guys like Roman Harper,
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Coleman, Luke Kuechly,
Yeah,
Thomas Davis,
yeah.
Ted Ginn. Like I
You
just
talking about some heavy
Hell of
hitters,
a
man.
list there. That's a hell of a
Some
list
heavy
there.
hitter, bro.
yeah, like
Woo. Goddamn
I
TJ
can
Ward, he was trill.
I can call these like I'm not even playing. Yeah, like I can call these dudes to right now, and they, you know what I'm saying, little bro, what's up? And they're like some of my biggest supporters of what I'm doing. So like that's what makes me feel cool. Like you know what I'm saying. It's like I can call them these dudes, and not only that, they support me. They're like my biggest fans. You know what I'm saying. So that's and just guys I play with around my age, vice versa. You know what I'm saying. It's all love. So I appreciate the whole brotherhood and the unit. You know what I'm saying. Outside, like on the field and off the field, that was big to me.
Nice.
Lou,
Yo,
what was your transition like from the league to comedy? How did you make that decision?
To be honest, I made that decision while I was rehabbing after I got hurt in Arizona. So I was like rehabbing, and I was thinking about. I was like, they were like, okay, once you get right, you know, sign you back, blah 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 blah. Like, all right, I heard this shit before. So like that happened, and then so it was like the last like 2 weeks of the season, they're like, oh, everything must sign you back. So I was like, you know what? All right, forget it. So that's when that Alliance League started. So I was like, look, I'm gonna just get some film, show people I'm healthy, come back, but whatever, and I can still get paid. So I was like, cool. I get hurt like the first or the second day in that camp. So I'm like, all right. So now I'm rehabbing with that, and in the midst of that, rehabbing from there to there, I would just do videos so I could take my mind off the injury. And then that's just so I just kept doing videos, impersonating people, or if something went viral, I would impersonate that. So like I think who was it like? I know it's not good, but like all right, when R. Kelly when he got up and like threw the you know what I'm saying, tripping on that interview, I like then I would impersonate that. And then I think Ja Rule did something. I did that, and then the Juicy Smollett, whatever his name is, Jesse or something. Then I did him. I was like, so I just kept like, it was just stuff. I was like, all right, good. I got some more material. Boom. So I just kept doing stuff just to stay fresh. And then I was just like, man. And I think when that league ended, it was like, everybody was in the locker. So it like ended abruptly. Everybody was in the locker room and everybody just like sad and shit, just walking around. You know, trash bags, you clean out your locker. And I was like, damn, man, this shit feel like Friday Night Lights. Like when Boobie got his bag and he was like crying in the car and shit. And I was just like, I was doing that in front of them and everybody's laughing. So I was like, so I made that video right after that. And I was just like, man. And I'm gonna come up, boys like, all right. They were like, well, shit, Lou, what you already know you about to be in Hollywood. So I was like, shit. After that, I was just like, cool. That God telling me take off. So
Yeah.
So pretty much once that ended, so I would say within a year, like it wasn't no break really from like the league to the comedy stuff. It was like it just started to mesh together. So
Amazing.
that's how that happened.
Amazing. So when, like, for you, right? When, of course, you've done numerous acts, your skits on different celebrities. For you, when did you realize, like, when you got that first hit from that celebrity, like, who was it, and when did you realize, like, oh shit, like this is serious, this is really taking off?
Well, it was when I did the first Steve Harvey thing I did. Because initially I was like, I ain't gonna lie, like I grew up like Steve Harvey fan, like the high top Steve Harvey. Like, you know what I'm talking about? So I was like, but the talk show Steve Harvey, like somebody, like my friend, her mom said like hey, has Lou ever like thought about doing Steve Harvey? And I was like, how can I do like, you know what I'm saying? Like not the like he's like very very
Yeah, yeah, he is.
inspirational.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now, so I'm like trying to make fun of that. So I'm like, so but then I was just like, maybe I can put my own little twist on it. So I did that, and then I think on Twitter, like, so I had made my Twitter like that same like in January. And then I just started posting stuff on there. Thank God for Twitter, because then like I think somebody retweeted, he retweeted it, and then that's when stuff started going viral, and I was like, what? So I just kept on that, and then they reached out to me, and they got in touch with me through one of my homeboys from back home, but he went to Morehouse with Steve Harvey's son, and Steve Harvey's son best friend. So Broderick and Tabidi. So shout out to them. They hit me up, and shout out to my man Quinn, because he was the glue that connected everything. And I was like, and he was like, man, you cool if I give you a number? I was like, what? Like, well, you should have been did that before you called me. You should have been sent that number. And he sent it, and then they hit me up. So I was like, they was like, yeah, man, so we trying to fly
Cool.
you out. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
That's what's up. Have
Like
you
a
still?
couple months later, I was like, damn.
Oh no, we must have cut off for a second. But I was going to ask you, have you started doing stand up yet, or are you thinking about it? Are you developing your routine? Have you already done it?
Yeah. I really haven't like all right, I've been like with like Mr. Harvey and everything. He'd be like, or just the whole team, and I'll just be telling stories. And they'll be like, bro, this stand up. But I'm like, yeah, stand up is cool, but like, I kind of like that, like Key and Peele,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Doing
you know what I
skits.
mean, like how like how Dave Chappelle had the Chappelle show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want my own, you know what I'm saying? My vision is my show, and then movies and everything like that. So, stand up can come from it, which is cool. But you know what I'm saying? I like creating like something that people can like just like, all right, what's next? Like when you know what I mean? It's almost like my own TV, and now I'm able to do that. But I'm definitely not opposed to like stand up. I definitely want to like incorporate something where it's like a live show. You know what I mean? Even if it's like a live, whatever type, how my content, it'd be a live show. Like, you know, kind of like Tyler Perry used to have plays and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? Like it's definitely, I'm definitely working on a lot of stuff. So, and I have Steve Harvey and his team who manage me. So it's like they give me a lot of
That's
resources,
great, man.
and we got a lot of stuff cooking up. So I'm blessed for that, for real.
Lou, I gotta ask you, yo. I gotta ask you. Where did the Baltimore act come from? and what made you like do it? Did you draw the inspiration from an uncle or family member or something? But what made you do that one?
I'm not gonna lie, like RIP to my brother, but he had this like strong ass accent, right? And like I'm talking about, his accent was like that when we was like babies, and he's always be like, look, like Lou, what's up, yo? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like when I was like 8, he was 5. He's like, Lou. I'm like, all right. So, and I would go over there, and my sister, she used to do the same thing, like, but hers was even raspy. Like she'd be like, Lou, what's up, yo? Like, I would be like tripping out, but I would make fun of them. And we got a lot of like family friends that's basically like family, and I got like an uncle. Well, he's like my uncle. His name like Uncle Nate, but he's like the smoothest dude you ever meet. And like outside of my dad, that's probably like smooth. That's a smooth dude right there. But he'd be just like, Lou, man, yeah. So like I just mixed all them together, And so yeah, it's like that Baltimore act. It comes from my brother, my sister, and my uncle Nate. So them three, I just mixed in the blender, and then I come up with my own little thing. But me and my boys, a lot of my boys, they from Baltimore too. So
Yeah.
like it's it's just like second nature now.
I think a lot of people.
And like I've heard it. I've been around my whole life. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Lou. I was just saying. I think it's great.
No. You good?
You know, the Baltimore. I think it's great that you do it, man, because a lot of people can relate to the particular moments that you share. You know, with your skits. Like for me, literally the funniest, the one that I remember the most when you was talking about the football players. When you was like, "Hey, coach told me I'm gonna play offense, defense, special team, quarterback, running back, safety." You know, man, when I heard it, man, I busted out laughing because I can relate to it. Going to play against Baltimore City team, or going against, you know, playing with dudes like in the city or whatever, or, you know, some of my friends, like, that's what it was. I'm playing offense, defense, special teams. You know, I'm doing everything. Coach told me played all of that today.
I thought you was from Baltimore, yo. When you be talking about, yo, you going down there by my dog. I was like, oh shit.
Nah, everybody. Nah, like we used to have like my high school. You know, my high school was in like Albany, Maryland, the Good Counsel High School. So we would have, but the 7-on-7 tournaments. So we would go to like Howard County or Maryland or whatever. But you know, the Baltimore high schools, DC high school, whatever like that. So like, you know, we would play against them and everything. So it was like one dude. He used to be like, you got this 7-on-7 short. Like, what you doing, man? But it was like, that's just funny. But like, I mean, and then it's kind of like cool because it's like, you know, it like bring back memories. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but people can relate. Like, if you've been to a camp, or like, you know, with sports is like, you know, you traveling AAU, so you see guys from all over, and and you heard different accents. Like when we play like in AAU basketball, like I remember distinct that sound. Like we would play them AAU team. I mean the Baltimore teams, and like they, you know, so they might get a technical. They be like, "Coach, I didn't even dare nothing else." So, like you can hear that, like. So like that's just like. Yeah, it's like I've heard. Like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Do you think that it would have been?
I mean, yeah.
If you did like you know, a DC version, do you think that people would have gravitated towards it the way the Baltimore? Because when you do things like I went to Dunbar when Dunbar was Dunbar, yeah, it's hilarious. Especially for those of us that know what you're talking about. Like, it's hilarious.
I mean, like, people have asked me to do a DC one, and I'm like, DC I could do it and it'd be easy, but it's like, I just like doing the Baltimore, because like I'm able. It's like in a weird way. It's like when I'm doing that, I'm like I said, like, you know, my passed away, so I'm able to like, I can connect with him. Yeah, I can have fun with it. I feel like I'm vibing with my brother at the same time. So it's like I'm just in the zone with that. So I didn't even like. I was like, when I did, I was like, only the people that I know, you know, from around the way gonna really understand this. But I was like, what the heck? Like, these people must know something about Baltimore.
Look, man, you got a lot of folks attention out here, man. A lot of folks attention, man, because everybody's talking about you and your skits, man, and how funny you are, man. And at the same time, you're also putting on for the city, for the folks as well, man. So it's much obliged, man. People out here really are supporting you, man, and rocking with you, brother.
Yo, it's like the little thing.
I appreciate it. It's love.
it's the little things about the skit show that like
Yep. Yep.
like
The details.
the
They
707
the details.
yo the 707 one when you was like, I didn't know that was your mother right there. Like yo, that's like that. Like it's like little shit, like it's little shit like that, yo. That's like when I first heard it, like Brandon said, yo. When I first heard it, I was like, yo, I thought it was funny, but I was like, yo, he gotta be from the city because yo, you had it down to a T. Like it's the best. Like a lot of people try to mimic it, but like your shit was down to the T. Like then when you started naming landmarks and shit, Norma Jeans and all of that, it's like
now when he was like when he did the joint and Lou was like, I had to pick Shorty up from her baby mother house out Towson.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, I mean,
And then mixing in the club music and you dancing, that's hilarious.
And that shit too is like,
Yeah.
it's nothing for a Baltimore dude to just break out dancing out of nowhere, yo. Like the music come on and they just start going off. So like, bro, you killing that shit, man. And I know, I've been ever since I seen it, I've been following you and I see the hate, the little bit of hate they throw at you, but yo, keep doing it, yo. You kill it. Like, you are killing that shit, man. You killing it.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, and then like I tell everybody, like I think I seen what I hear that I heard like a little quote. I mean, it was in the movie. It was in the Straight Outta Compton movie, and then I think they was on the way to some concert or something, and like people was against NWA or whatever, and like they breaking up the CDs in front of the concert and everything like that, and they like, damn man, they breaking our shit, blah blah blah. And he's like, I don't care. I mean, they still bought it. So I'm like, if somebody is like retweeting or something, and they retweeting and they retweeting it and saying something slick or hating about it, I'm like, at the end of the day, they still retweeting that shit. So I'm like, keep them views coming in. And if like I've seen like some of the same people. I don't see it all the time, but sometimes I catch it, and I see like some of the same people who might have said something hating on the first one. I'm like, all right, I done did about 6 of these, so you still watching them?
Right.
you must like it.
You must like something,
bro. It's so. Let me ask you. So, out of all the skits you done, right? It could be the Baltimore joints, so I'm gonna break it down. Out of all your skits, what's your favorite? And then out of the Baltimore series, what you think is your funniest or your favorite one out of that?
Out of all my skits, the funniest or the one I had the most fun doing, I would say, like, damn. Obviously I love doing the Baltimore ones. But outside of that, I really like doing when I'm like, I like impersonating the music videos a lot, and like different like movies, cause I'm a movie head, so like I be knowing shit about movies and music videos. I always used to make fun of how like serious they would be in the music video and the little actions they were doing. So like. I was like, man, like I want to be in a music video, so I'm like, shit, I'm making my own music video by making fun of that music video. So those are probably like my top. And of course, like I have fun with the Steve Harvey one because it's like I can go to like the older crowd, you know what I'm saying, and act like I'm giving some knowledge or whatever like that. But I'm really not saying shit. I'm just like I'm just doing whatever. But
man.
outside of that, my favorite Baltimore one is probably that I've done is probably the 707 one, and then the one where I was like, I think at the end, or the one I was talking about, It's actually three of them. It's the 7-on-7. I was talking about where I was about to go. Like, niggas about to go to Norman. That shit. And when I was like, I think at the end of the video, I was like mixing in family and everything, and then I actually had my daughter, and like she was knocked out sleep, like real life sleep, and like I was like, I had my cousin, I was like, yo, hold it, act like I'm just picking her up or something, and I was like, yeah, I just picked her up from my mother all the way out Dallas and shit.
That was
So
fun.
like those three are probably my. I was like, yeah, she sleeps, so you know, shh. And then like, yeah, so, yeah. I would say those three. So, but the 7-on-7 one, I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more of that. I'm gonna do more like sports.
You got to, yeah.
Because like,
Yeah, you have to.
and when I do the coaching, I haven't done it in a minute, but I'm about to bring that back. So the coaching, yeah, I like that because I'm basically impersonating every coach I've ever had. But the main coach I'm really impersonating is my coach who had me in Carolina. So he was my DB coach and he was my head coach in Arizona. So like, I'm really like impersonating it. Like I used to impersonate him every day after meetings. Like we would finish meeting, he'd be like, "All right, Lou, come here." And I would basically like do everything he just did in the meeting. So that's the way I could remember the plays and shit like that too. Cause like other than that, I would be my ADHD. I'd be all over the place.
Lou, what's your plan? Like,
yeah.
what do you? I know you mentioned like Key and Peele and how you like the skits. What's your like? What are you looking to do with this? Like, are you looking to build media companies? Are you looking to put other people on? Like, what's your goal for comedy, man? Because you clearly have talent for it and you're doing great things.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, my thing is called like ShlewTube. So that's like, you know, it's like my own, that's my little enterprise, I say. Like, so like, obviously, as I keep growing, like, I'm learning more and more, you know, different things about this whole, you know, when it comes to film and putting stuff together or creating content and everything like that. And eventually, like, I want to have like my own warehouse where people can come in and get creative. You know what I'm saying? The Shlew Enterprise or whatever. So like, it's like all like, you know, people who want to be in digital media or behind the screen, on the screen, you know what I'm saying? And really like, give and bring on people who can give more knowledge and just help other people. Cause there's people who like now they're like, man, you know, like what do you be doing? Or how can I do this? I do that. And like I can talk about a lot of stuff, but eventually, like, I just want to show people, you know what I'm saying? And then if I can have eventually have my own place where people can come and learn, you know what I'm saying? And take from that, and in the midst of that learning, creating stuff, you know what I'm saying? Bouncing ideas and stuff like that, and have my own team. So, yeah, I'm definitely trying to put people on for sure.
That's dope, man. Well, I love what you're doing, man. It's amazing. It's hilarious. Like, I think it's great what other people out there are doing. Like, you know, Desi does all the Atlanta, the Southern stuff. To see a dude doing Baltimore, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do Baltimore. Like,
yeah.
It's almost like, you know, when the Wire blew up, like people do cop shows in New York, LA, Miami, but no one did Baltimore. And they did Baltimore, and people are like, yo, Baltimore is amazing. For, you know, you doing Baltimore, man, is amazing. So
yeah,
salute to you, man. I wish you much success. Hopefully we can get you back on. What did you say, Mike?
2 hot dogs, relish, little ketchup, little mustard.
Little mustard.
No, dummy. Yo, look, I'm telling you, yo, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but at my job alone, yo, you probably get about 50 views a day because I got my coworkers watching your joint, and we just sit there, yo, and I've seen them all. Yo, I've seen them all, but every time I hear you say, "Yeah, it's a beautiful day," yo, I lose it. Like I called my fiance. She probably watching now. I called her earlier today and I was like, excuse me, is you married? And she just shook her head. She was just like, yo. Like, so, bro, like, I appreciate you coming on, man. Like, yo, keep killing it. I can't say it enough, man. You killing that shit. I do got a question for you. I was peeping you last night, man. So who won the battle, yo? I know you a DMX fan. Who won the battle?
Look, all I'm gonna say is I saw a lot of shit talking from people prior to the battle. You know what I'm saying? They like, oh, Snoop gonna crip walk all over the shit. I was like, but if y'all watch that battle, it was a great battle.
It was.
And X showed y'all that he has hits and he's a legend. That's my man. I'm biased, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna say both won, but I mean, my energy go up when X come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a big Snoop Dogg fan as well. But when X come on, I feel like I can run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
So I'm going with X all day. I'm DMX till I die.
Yeah, that's what you got. He got a skit too. Y'all ain't seen it, yo, with the
the Cisco joke. Yeah, look, yo, Lou, me and my man, we were watching that last night, man, and that skit was hilarious. I actually was watching it earlier. Like, man, it was hilarious, and I like the fact, like you got like the platinum chain. I guess you got like the aluminum foil. Like,
aluminum. Yeah.
Yeah, aluminum, right? Yeah,
aluminum. I go through a lot. I go through a lot of aluminum foil cartons. So, Reynolds, is it Reynolds? Is that the name of it? Reynolds or something?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like you're doing some great things out here, man, and we're definitely supportive of you. In all your endeavors, man, and definitely thankful, man, that you're able to take some time out, man, to show the viewers, man, and come on and support. And yeah, man, you're doing some great things, bro. I definitely would love to get your contact. So maybe I can link you to my brother. Like I said, he's doing some things too. Maybe y'all could link down the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just
for sure,
whatever, man. So thanks again, bro. Thank and keep my major success to you.
I appreciate y'all.
Lou, one more question, bro.
Y'all, man.
While we got you on here as a former athlete, man. What do you as an athlete that was recruited out of high school, highly recruited out of high school, like, what's your thoughts on the new, the kind of newly found HBC movement, man? I know in one of the videos you say you might send your nephew down cop. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that, man? Like, did honestly, a lot of them hit you then when you were being recruited?
Yeah, but like at that time, like, it was like, what, you going there? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was about like going somewhere high D1 and everything like that. But I will say, after like going through and being in the league and everything like that, it doesn't matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? That does. So if you want to go professional and everything, like, it doesn't matter where you go. You feel what I'm saying? I've seen draft day, you'll see somebody get drafted and the tape look like some shit that was in your grandfather's basement. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, where do they find him at? But like I said, it don't matter where you go. You know what I mean? So I'm if I have a son, I'm pushing for the HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send them out. I might send them to Howard Top. I don't know.
Much respect, Lou, man. Much respect.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Definitely got to get you back on the show, man, sometime in the future, brother.
Nah, for sure, man. I had a blast. So y'all let me know.
Man, well, everybody, y'all follow Lou. I'm sure y'all already are who's watching this, and everybody's listening. Make sure you check out Lou. We'll close out on that. So until next time, folks, we out.
Peace.